Hello, welcome to Bake Yourself Happy, our live event. I'm Lucy Hall and I am one of the Level 3 Year 1 Events and Tourism students who will be hosting this evening. The purpose of this event is to raise mental health awareness. We are also raising money for Oxfordshire Mind through our Just Giving page. Please remember to donate if you have not done so already. In the past few weeks, we have been asking the public to send in photos of their favourite bakes and share their recipes, which we will use to create our ebook. This will be available to purchase for a small donation. You still have a little time to vote for the bake you want to win. You can do this through our website. Just click the tab at the top right-hand side of the homepage. The winners will be announced at the end of our live event this evening, and there are 3 great prizes to be given away. My classmate Kathleen will now introduce our guest speaker. Over to you, Kathleen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kathleen Hamacher. Thank you for joining our live event. This evening, we will be speaking to Perry Trafford. Perry is the Children and Young People Coordinator at Oxfordshire Mind. He will be discussing what they do and how people can access help if they need it. Perry will be taking questions at the end of this session, so please feel free to send them in your questions in the chat area. My classmates Katie and Holly will be monitoring these and will ask Perry to answer as many as the time allows.
Thank you so much. Yes, and thank you to everybody as well for inviting me along. Like Kathleen just said, my name is Perry Trafford, so I'm the Children and Young People's Coordinator for Oxfordshire Mind. And yeah, thank you to the Level 3 Year 1 Events and Tourism students at Aberdeen Whitney College, and also to Rita Sale and her colleagues for putting this event together for the Bake Yourself Happy. I'll start off by, first of all, giving you a bit of an outline as to what we do at Oxfordshire Mind. We are basically a local mental health charity, so we're able to make sure that anyone with any mental health problems has somewhere to turn, has advice or support when they need it. My particular role within the service is to support a variety of younger people, also parents, carers, and any staff and professionals who work with young people as well. So I also support under 16s with some of my work. I'll be able to explain a little bit more about that later on. I'll first of all start off obviously by saying about mental health. I think my first number one message is all of us have mental health. You know, we will all experience different thoughts, different feelings, different emotions throughout our life, and that can have a major effect on our mental health in both positive and negative ways. So at times when we might feel that we're mentally unwell or things are becoming particularly difficult for us to manage, and even if it's important that we can find ways to look after ourselves and look after other people as well. And then that way we can be able to look after as many people and help them to be as mentally well as possible. So I will talk a little bit about obviously the pandemic because it's affected all of us hugely. But prior to it, about 1 in 4 people were affected with mental health issues. And unfortunately, recent data is showing that it's more likely to be 1 in 3 now, and that's across both children and adults. National Mind were able to do a survey back in April and May last year, and it found that around 72% of young people said loneliness made their mental health even worse. So we're finding that around 68% said their mental health has worsened since lockdown, and that only 1 in 4 people of all ages have tried to access mental health support but have been unable to do so. Now, it's just such a shame that we've been able to sort of have so many people wanting to help and aren't able to access it. But us at Oxfordshire Mind, we're really, really proud to continue to support people throughout the pandemic, even prior to it and also going forward as well. So the major disruptions that we found could be things around school or college or university education, if it would be around socialising with friends and family, if people have any employment, apprenticeships or training opportunities that have been sort of ruined within the pandemic, but also our daily routines, our lifestyles have had to change. We've had to adapt. Now, even if people were struggling beforehand, what's happened since lockdown has had such a major effect on all of us. But like I said, us and other organisations, including the NHS, including other charities, any third sector volunteers, as well as the councils and also Aberdeen and Whitney College, are there to support each and every one of us. So what we've seen here at Oxfordshire Mind in the past sort of, I'd say 12 months, we've had such a huge increase in people calling our information service. And that's basically anybody wanting to seek support from themselves, for loved ones, for colleagues, for friends, whether it be where they can find certain services, whether we can help them or other services can. We've had more and more people book onto our options sessions. Now, that's basically having a phone call with our wellbeing workers who can offer advice and support there and then over the phone. Despite having to close a lot of our face-to-face services, which was always in high demand before the pandemic, we've been lucky enough to be able to offer more and more virtual delivery. So whether that be phone calls or appointments over the phone, or even if we've been offering Zoom calls and team meetings as well. But we were able to help support the NHS 111 number by providing support with the 24/7 mental health helpline. This was for people, especially particularly in the April to July time, where things were up in the air. There was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of people experiencing a lot of crises with their mental health. We were able to support them with any phone consultation and advise them on where to go next, or even to contact any emergency services in need be. We've had, again, a high demand on our services. We've been able to employ more staff to facilitate that so we can support as many people as possible throughout the pandemic. But with increased NHS waiting lists for support for all ages, we've been able to mean that we can help as much as we can going through. So to give you a bit more information about what sort of my role here at Oxfordshire Mind is, I can help support a lot of parents, and particularly in this third lockdown, we've had a lot more parents or guardians, grandparents contacting us regarding their young ones, whether it be their children under 12, or whether it be even perhaps their sons and daughters who are in universities or in colleges. A lot of them are finding a lot of issues and support that's needed. We're able to either provide our information that we can send, or we can then say maybe other services who are more suitable, who can access either here in Oxfordshire or nationally to support them. Young people found isolation and loneliness the biggest issue over the last 12 months. I think the issue being with whether there's a disruption to school pattern, not being able to be part of outside of school clubs, whether it be attending university, trying to find employment, trying to find jobs. A lot more pressure has been put on their shoulders, and we found that a lot of them are contacting us and asking for that sort of help and support. Other areas of topics, we've noticed there's a lot more hassle around sleep, a lot more stress, and a lot more anxiety that keeps on cropping up as well. So we are becoming more aware of these issues, and we are trying to support as many young people as possible. And like I said, my service will support anyone up from 0 to 25 as well across the county. Other services such as we've got other partners such as Response, ARCT, Sophia, and Bramley Young Homeless People Project. They are able to provide any support as well with a partnership work called the Mental Wealth Academy. So I'll be able to explain a little bit more about that in a moment. We have noticed on our services at Oxfordshire Mind, any anger and strong emotions courses have been extremely in high demand, and other services we can provide I'll explain about as well. It's not all bad news though. I will say with the pandemic, in terms of us supporting people, we have managed to make some really good benefits and really good highlights. More people are identifying the need for mental health support. So they're either finding it from themselves or finding for others. So it's really, really valuable that we've been able to find and be able to support the people throughout. In lockdown 1 and 2, more people were more able to demonstrate kindness. They were able to give more of their time to one another. There was a lot more sort of enthusiasm around this, which has been fantastic. Like I said to you a moment ago, Oxfordshire Mind's been able to be open throughout. Whether we haven't been able to perhaps deliver most of our services in person, we have been able to support people either online or on the phones as well. And also our digital services, a lot of our support with our courses have now become virtual deliverers. We were able to sort of book people into peer support groups. They can meet on Zoom calls, and also some of our workshops as well that we can offer in terms of schools or colleges, we were able to do over our internet access, which beforehand we would never have done. So there have been some highlights, which means more people are still able to get our support. But I guess then, how do you access our support really is the next question. And the first port of call would be our information service or our website. So our info service is usually open Mondays to Fridays, and they start from 9:30 till about 5 p.m. And basically the number is 01865 247788. All of this information is on our website as well, under Oxfordshire Mind. And basically what those staff members can do is either assist you with any sort of questions, any queries you may have. If you are looking for support from Oxfordshire Mind, they will be able to book you an option session. Now, an option session usually lasts about 30 minutes, and at the moment it's only phone calls only. And what we can do is match you with someone who is a wellbeing worker closer to your home. So that way they'll be able to offer as much local advice as well as Oxfordshire based, as well as national support that you can get. The phone calls and all of our services are obviously free. We won't charge anyone for accessing any of it. We do offer any one-to-one support and any group-based support, and that is for anyone over the age of 16. So it doesn't matter sort of what your difficulties are. If you yourself are supporting others and you're finding it difficult, again, you can access that. It's no trouble whatsoever. And also, if you're perhaps somebody who lives outside of Oxford, but you've got a GP practice here in Oxford, or you're perhaps studying either at college or university here in this county, we can still access support, and that'll just be able to have a conversation with our information service as well. Services that are exclusive to 16 to 25-year-olds, because again, that's my specialty area. We've got a project called the Mental Health Academy. So I've mentioned a few of those partners earlier. So the services can provide a one-to-one support with a transitional wellbeing worker, and the Mental Health Academy offers these sessions to support with anything from low mood, from anxiety, from depression, any sort of state of mental health need. They can help within any college, education or financial elements as well that you're struggling with. They'll be able to support you over a weekly basis of about 60 minutes for the 12 weeks. My colleague Celia, who is working for the Mental Health Academy, she is able to see people majoritively over a Zoom or a Teams call, but she is also able to see certain people face to face. But again, that can be discussed in person on the phones. Okay. That project, like I said, is headed by Response, but we're in partnership, so we're able to support. And the best way to access that support is to go through our website, and there's a self-referral button. So it's called the Mental Health Academy. And like I said, anyone 16 to 25 can access that. All you would do is complete the online referral, and then we'd be able to send that referral through to us, and we'll be able to contact you and get back to you about booking you in for those sessions. Other things that we do support with is online peer support groups. That's for 16 to 25-year-olds. Now, a lot of Oxfordshire Mind's peer support groups can vary in age. We can have perhaps art-based groups, we'll have courses which do football, we'll do anything really in terms of supporting one another. Now, the 16 to 25 offer is mostly just for that age bracket. We find that younger people, younger adults are able to communicate, they have similar interests, and it's a safe and social environment to meet. It's all delivered on Zoom, and in order to access that, you'd have to have an option session with the phone call in the information service, and you'll be able to speak to myself. I also help co-facilitate that online group. Other services as well that are available are the primary care. That's available to anybody whose GP practice supports Oxfordshire Mind and their wellbeing workers. So again, that's a list of all of the GP practices are on our website. They can offer up to 6 one-to-one appointments, either at the doctor's surgeries or online over a Zoom call. Other things as well we'd be able to is provide short courses. So that is usually group based. And again, some of them are being delivered virtually, some of them are delivered in person. To do that, again, all you need to do is have an option session. So all it takes is a 30-minute phone call. And then the short courses that we offer people are things like managing stress, 5 ways to wellbeing. We talk about managing strong emotions, assertiveness and communication skills, as well as many other ones as well. So they can vary between 2-hour courses over a 2-week period to around an hour session for up to 7 to 8 weeks. It all varies, but someone on the information line will be able to clarify what courses are available and how to access them. And again, like I said, all of these services are free as well. Finally, on our website, on our Children and Young People's page, we do have some digital resources that you can download, and you can either complete on a laptop or a tablet, or you can print them off and handwrite them if you wish. These topics at the moment include sleep, stress and anxiety, isolation during the COVID pandemic, as well as looking after yourself. So all of those services, all of those resources are there for you to download at your will. I know I'm running out of time, so I'll briefly talk a little bit about what I can work with under 16s and where some of the fundraising money perhaps would either potentially benefit younger people. As I said earlier, Oxfordshire Mind tends to work with a 16 plus, so anyone over the age of 16, whereas my service works with under 16s in primary schools and secondary schools as well. We offer certain projects like a 6-week mental health and wellbeing sessions. That's usually with Cherwell District Council, so places around Bicester, Banbury and Kidlington. And we talk around topics such as anger, self-esteem, resilience, and that's about a 30-minute sort of class-based activity. And then we go outdoors and we do socially distanced physical activities, exercise to music and circuit-based. Normally, our other projects, like our Boxing for Wellbeing, that's a 4-week course, and we would use boxing pads and gloves. But since the pandemic, we've been unable to do so. So we've been doing a lot of virtual delivery for those. The Boxing for Wellbeing projects, like I said, it offers up to 4 sessions of a bit more intense, about 2 hours worth of topics covered. And then we help to support anyone between the ages of 8 to 18 on those ones. Other things as well, we've got the virtual big umbrella. That's a bit like our Mental Wealth Academy, where we can offer one-to-one support, and that's delivered either over the phone or digitally over to Zoom or Teams. And that is for anyone who's aged 12 to 16. So those who aren't able to access Mental Wealth Academy because they're too young can access the virtual big umbrella. And then finally, at the moment, we've got a project with Oxford United in the community called the KICS Wellbeing Project. So we're working with them to deliver mental health support to year 7s in secondary schools going forward. I will finish before I ask some questions, ways in which we can look after our mental health. And it's really, really key. A lot of work we do, I mentioned it earlier, is the 5 ways to wellbeing. This is an evidence-based project by the New Economics Foundation. And this is something that we always inherit and we always try to promote throughout our projects, our programs, our short courses. Many of you have probably heard of the 5 ways to wellbeing, but I'll refresh minds if not. And if you haven't, you'll know it by the end of this bit. So the 5 ways we have: 1, the first one is to connect. So it's really important to be able to socialize with people, whether that be, obviously it's difficult in the moment of the last 12 months. Things are starting to ease, things are starting to get back to normal. But if you're able to communicate with people, whether it be over a FaceTime, whether it be over text messages, whether you'll be able to speak to someone in the park or socially distance people in the pubs or say, you're able to communicate with people, you're keeping yourself away from any isolation, being able to interact with others is really, really beneficial to our mental health, and it can help within our well-being. The second one is to be active. So again, perhaps you're not particularly sporty, or perhaps you are. Even going out, walking the dog, for instance, okay, finding an exercise habit that you enjoy, whether it's doing a YouTube workout, anything, just try to keep yourself motivated, try to keep yourself moving. It's proven, there's so many studies that show that being physically active can help benefit our mental health and our well-being. It helps to reduce anxiety, lowers depression, as well as obviously it keeps us more healthy physically, but also mentally as well. The third one is to take notice. So at the moment, with the weather being all over the place as it is, we've had hailstones, we've had sunshine, we've had rain, wind, everything. Take notice of your environment, but it's not just that. It be perhaps what you've been eating that day. I know I always use an example of if back when we were in cinemas, if you're watching cinema, you've got a bucket of popcorn and you're just eating it away and you're not even taking notice, you're not even aware of it, you know, and it's, well, by the time you look down, half of it's gone. You know, it's about sort of being in the moment, being able to savor what's going on around you, because that way it'll keep our mentally focused and keeping us stimulated. Number 4 is to keep learning. Again, I know there's a lot of college students on here, but also it might not be something around your education. It could be things like you used to do in the past. You might have had hobbies that you've perhaps not done for a while. It might be trying to learn a new language. I know obviously Bake Yourself Happy, a lot of us will be trying out new recipes, which will be really key as well. So learning new techniques helps keep us focused and will help within our mental health. And the last one is to give. And again, linking to that, I know a lot of people have been raising money, which is fantastic, but it could be something as simple as giving a compliment to someone, helping to support someone. You know, that'll make you feel good, but it'll make them feel better as well. So those sort of 5 ways to connect, to be active, to take notice, to keep learning, and to give. Those 5 simple ways. You might be doing that with one activity throughout the day. You might be able to tick all 5. You never know. But this is how we can help support one another. So that's my talk over it, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much for all the helpful information and useful tips, Perry. We will be now taking questions from the audience. I have some questions as well, but please put your questions into the chat box. So I would like to ask, how can you encourage people to seek help?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think, first of all, obviously, if you've got somebody who perhaps is displaying something different behaviors, perhaps they're not your usual self, I think some people always talk to either friends or family first before seeking help. So I think the best thing to do is offer some emotional support. So being able to listen to them, okay, giving them some space to be able to talk, but also not just sort of forgetting what they're saying, just obviously offering reassurance, but listen non-judgmentally. If it's something that's quite shocking to yourself, try to remain calm on those ones. Be patient. It might not even be something that they've been wanting to speak about. But again, it's just trying to listen to them, trying to focus on those ones, and then being able to be that person to help support there and then in the moment. Other things as well, try to keep it sort of social. Don't try to sort of make too much of an issue. Try to encourage them, if it needs to be, to seek other professional help, whether it be someone like us at Oxfordshire Mind, whether they check out our website, whether they have to perhaps contact the NHS helpline as well. Just be able to support them going forward. And check in with yourselves as well, because it can be quite tricky. If you hear something that's perhaps discomforting and you're not quite sure about, be able to look after yourself and look after everyone is the key.
Thank you. At the side, Katie and Holly will continue with the Q&A now.
The first question from the audience is there any evidence that working or studying from home has helped someone with their mental health?
So I think for some people, I think with the young people that I've worked with, working from home has helped encourage, because again, it can be quite difficult. For some people, I know that for year 7s that I've supported, going into a new school is quite exciting, quite sort of ambitious for them to do so. But a lot of people have already had anxieties around this. Being able to be in a comfortable position, being able to study without having those additional pressures, have managed to make their mental health a little bit more supported. On the flip side, again, it's not routine. If you're used to being in sort of colleges, if you're used to being studying in school as well, and you're lacking like either support from a teacher or from sort of an assistant as well, it can be quite difficult to do so. But yes, certainly I've noticed that a lot of the younger people that I've worked with, they've enjoyed being at home. And also, if they're able to balance their time of doing their own things alongside their work and their studies, it's managed to sort of help support their own mental health and well-being. I know, unfortunately, as well, some of them find it very distracting and then start to feel a little bit less focused. So it can have its ups and downs, but yeah.
Who can you call if you need support overnight?
So that's a good question as well. So we've got a service called Oxford Safe Haven and Banbury Safe Haven. That's something that Oxfordshire Mind can support with. Now, they are usually open in sort of out of hours times on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays and Mondays. This is an over 18 service. So again, if anyone's over the age of 18, this is the best contact service to call. They will be able to support with any crisis patterns. They'll be able to do any safety planning, any grounding techniques, and support with you over the phone or in person in one of their hubs. So the hubs are either in Cowley Road or in Banbury. Now, if you're under 18, obviously there's some text message services which can help support within crisis matters. Things like Shout is a really good service to be able to contact. They'll be able to text with support. Other services as well, the mental health helpline that I discussed a moment ago, they are 24/7, and that number has become so much easier now. It used to be a long number, now it's just dialing 111, and then they'll ask you about what support you're after. Now, the number for the Oxfordshire and Buckinghamshire line is still 111, so they'll be able to support you if you are feeling in a difficult position and it's late.
Next question for the audience. Can people volunteer to help your charity to support young people?
Yeah, I mean, we are more than happy to get volunteers involved. We've got a really good team, and it can vary from what people want. I think there is a bit of a limit in terms of age priority. I think there is 16 to 18-year-olds, but again, if you're able to contact our information line, one of our team members will be able to help assist that. Now, I know that the volunteer coordinator has lots and lots of different roles, even throughout the pandemic, whether it be in-person events, whether it be sort of supporting people by raising money for certain things, or helping on events, or helping with admin tasks, lots and lots of things. Anything that you feel that comfortable to support with, we'd be more than happy to accept any volunteers on those ones.
What can you do if you don't have access to internet? How do you get support then?
It's a good question, and I think, like I said to you, we've been really lucky in the last 12 months that we've been able to move a lot of things like over to our digital platforms. But again, there are people who aren't able to access that. If you're able to, perhaps if you've got someone working, if you're able to answer within a phone, still contacting that phone line would be the number one. We do have what we call the Oxfordshire Mind Guide as well. So the Mind Guide offers lots and lots of services, both just at Oxfordshire Mind, but also across Oxfordshire itself, as well as nationally. It's kind of like a booklet full of lots of contact details as well. So that's one way in which we can help support. Other services I mentioned as well, which Oxfordshire Mind can help support with, would be the Benefits of Better Mental Health Service. So that's available for anybody who's seeking support financially. Our team can help support with any finance issues that you might have, and they're able to represent people within any court liaisons as well and help in filling forms. So I think the best suggestion, like I said, contact our phone line. People will be able to drop into our hubs as well. Again, it would be best to phone them just in case they're closed because of the pandemic currently. And when more information of reopening times will be on our website soon as well.
We hope you had everyone has found that really informative. If we did not answer your questions, please head over to the Oxfordshire Mind website or access the links on our website on the web page tab labeled Tips and Advices.
Thank you to everyone for sending in your questions. Please remember to access our Just Giving page if you've not done so already, and donate to such a great cause. We will now take a few minutes to count the results of the Bake Yourself Happy contest, and we'll be announcing the winners shortly. We hope you enjoy the second positive message video while you wait.
In third place, we have bake number 21, created by Casey Bolton, who wins a £10 Amazon voucher. In second place, we have bake number 22, created by Christine Hall, who wins a £15 Amazon voucher. And first place we have Bake number 20, created by Jenny Rowe, who wins a £25 Amazon voucher. Congratulations to all our winners. We'll be contacting you to send you the prizes. And thank you for sending in your photos of cakes and positive messages. And thank you for joining. We hope you had a nice evening. Please access the links and resources on our website if you need help, and do not forget to purchase our ebook via our website. All proceeds will go to Oxfordshire Mind. Don't forget to donate to our Just Giving page. Good night.
On behalf of us all on Level 3 Year 1 Events and Tourism course, we would like to say a huge thank you to Chris Cole,
Cheryl James,
Jennifer Clare,
Mark Egan,
Perry Trafford,
and Mark Reedon.
And you, the viewers, thank you very much, and thank you to our students for all their hard work.
We would also like to say a massive thank you to Rita Saleh, our teacher.
We really appreciate all the work you've done for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.